Welcome everyone to the Select Board meeting of January 9th. We have a short agenda and hopefully we can sail right through it. Approval of the previous meeting minutes.
So moved?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, changes? All in favor? All right, unanimous. Sprinkler ordinance, the Wyndham wording.
I'll start with actually the last sentence on that page, because I misspoke when I said that Wyndham referred to it as living area. It wasn't. It's gross floor area, which is what I would call living area, but I did want to make that distinction. Beyond that, I believe Wayne has, and this might be Dennis, I thought it might be John. Wayne has other information that he wanted to go over with you about these sprinklers and why they feel that the way they do about the ordinance.
Yep. Go ahead, Wayne.
Yes, so, Mr. Chairman, we, John, the chief and myself, met with Sue in her interim town manager role to get a feel for how, excuse me, sorry about that, to get a feel for how to proceed, and that's when she informed us, as we had known, that the living area isn't in the fire code. Living area is used in real estate and assessors, and some in the building code, more for minimum habitable spaces, but it's not in the fire code. So what we did in the packet is tried to explain the gross square footage language, and then take that language and give some examples of how the gross square footage determines what we need for fire flow and how much total water we need for fires in certain buildings of certain size, and then what that means as far as manpower requirements. So that's really what was in your packet, to try to explain that, because we don't have living area in the fire code. So we've been working on crafting some language for you to look at. We heard your concerns about the garage and the outside porches, and so we don't have anything to present to you tonight, but we're near final drafting of some language for you to consider for the single-family homes and sprinklers.
Okay.
Yeah. Couple questions. If
My volume isn't very good, so.
Okay. I mean, you're trying to emulate a little bit what Wyndham was doing, but if I read the Wyndham system, single and two-family dwellings are exempted from the requirement. So we're putting a requirement on that's counter to what you said you were trying to do as far as matching Wyndham.
So I don't know. I know I didn't mention that. I was the one that presented the ordinance changes to the board in 2021. And what drove that is these larger buildings, and we had one in particular that was 15,000 square feet. And they chose not to do a sprinkler system. And, when we got looking at what we needed to bring to the fire scene for a building of that size, it was eye-opening. So that's where the ordinance came from. It didn't come from Wyndham. It came from looking at the insurance services office materials, and they're the ones that rate fire protection for communities, and also looking at NFPA 1, the fire code, and what the requirements were in there. And then we crafted the language to try to address these larger homes, which are generally being built in the more remote areas of our community. And the buildings themselves, instead of being small compartment rooms, they have these great rooms, and they're fantastic. But for a fire standpoint, it just, instead of limiting the fire, it just feeds the fire.
Well,
So makes it burn quickly. So I just wanted to clarify that
yeah,
point.
so Wayne, from my standpoint, I understand it in a very large building, a large house. I get that. It just seems to me like 4,700 square feet is not really a large house. You know, I kind of like the 4,000 square foot. I think people need to be notified that, hey, if you put whatever they call it, a firewall in the garage area, that eliminates that space from being counted as living space. I don't think we make that real clear. So, yeah, that's,
And I don't think we're not letting people put sprinklers in their house. I mean, anybody can put
right.
sprinklers in their house. It doesn't stop anyone.
Right, but you know, we mandate it at, you know, anything, you know, what, 4,700 feet, right?
48, yeah.
48.
48, and then new developments, and, you know, I get all that. I'm okay with some of that. But I think we need to inform the public, you know, about these firewalls that you can put in where that square footage doesn't get counted. I think it would help everybody and maybe reduce costs. I don't know, is a firewall as expensive as a sprinkler system? I don't know. I'm not a builder,
No.
I don't have a clue.
Not even close.
I wouldn't even think it's close.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't have a good answer for you, Mr. Chairman, on those cost figures of the 2-hour firewall versus sprinkler system. And we tried to give, that's one of the things that the planning board asked for, is exceptions for folks that didn't want to put a sprinkler system in the building, but still enabled us to be able to fight the fire with enough water for the size of the building. So, and one of the things that Sue was working with us on is talking about using that 2-hour firewall to reduce the calculated size of the building. So basically making, like the example that we have from Mr. Snow, if the garage wasn't calculated, he would be under the 4,800 square feet and wouldn't require the sprinkler system. Right. So we're looking at the language to try to do that and bring that to you.
Yeah, and the other thing I remember is there was not an appeals process on this. And I think we need to come up with an appeals process if someone wants to at least ask the question, why do I need it, and how can I mitigate it, and who do I go to? So.
And I don't know if you are looking to utilize our current appeals board to do that, or some other mechanism, because I've tried to look at appeals process language to include in the ordinance, and some do it through their normal appeals board. Some have some recognized specialists in the field that are part of the appeals process. So do you have any guidance for us on how you'd like to go?
SelectBoard for an appeal.
I mean, I would think the logical place for the appeal would be to the planning board appeal.
Yeah.
Because if there's gonna be an exemption given, it's gonna have to be written into the approval.
Right.
Which the planning board has the authority to put conditions on, conditional approvals and things like that. So I would think you'd want to keep it inside that envelope because
Yep.
a lot of it, the infrastructure already exists, so
Right.
why create something new that doesn't have to be created?
Well, and Wayne, right now, who approves the exceptions? Because right now, the 2-hour firewall is considered an exception, so there must be someone that is approving that now.
Yes, so if somebody, like Mr. Snow didn't, who, wanted to look for an option, versus the sprinkler system, he brought that to us. And then, we pointed out that the 2-hour firewall, with a on-site water supply was, in the ordinance. We don't have an appeals beyond the fire chief and myself. So, and we heard your concerns about having something along that line. So we'll work to craft some language for you.
Okay. How long do you think it will take, Wayne? Couple of months?
I'd like to have something for you for next month because also to give the planning board time to do their review because they review all ordinances is my understanding. So
It has to go to the planning board, they have to go through their hearings and all that, and then
Yeah.
ultimately it comes back before the town
So-
meeting to the select board to give a recommendation on it, but, I mean, almost the
I
next.
mean more time.
Oh, go ahead, Wade.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there. More time would be better for us, but we also understand that you'd like to have something on this year's warrant to look to make some corrections or adjustments on the sprinkler ordinance for.
It should not be a
Single family
complete
home.
overwrite of the ordinance. There's a lot of good stuff in that ordinance, but there's some things that might need to be adjusted. Okay?
So can I ask something? So like in Mr. Snow's case, and I don't know all of it, but if he was to put a firewall, I mean, he's already got his wall there, probably where the garage is, but if he put a firewall attached to that, would that take off the garage then and give him that exemption?
So the wall that's in the exceptions right now is a 2-hour firewall. So a 2-hour firewall or 2, 3, or 4-hour firewall basically uses that wall like it's another building, a separate building, and that's how the code looks at it. So that's why it's a 2-hour firewall. It is part of the exceptions, but it's also providing on-site water because even with that 2-hour firewall, I think his total taking the garage out was like 4,500 square feet of total gross square feet. So
Including the outdoor porch and the basement and that stuff.
So I know that he mentioned the outside porches. That was not part of his particular calculations. What I do when I look at the plans is I take the main building, then the garage, and do all that square footage. For his particular building, I got to 5,500 square feet without calculating in outside porches, his bonus room. Once he meets the threshold, it's like I just let them know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks, Wayne, for all your work on this. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, Harbor Master statute and training and appointment.
So I received a mailing about the harbor master position, and that prompted me to look into the statutes, and because we have bodies of water, we're required to have one. And Nathan used to be the harbor master, so I would like to nominate Nathan as our harbor master again.
Nathan, are you willing to do it? Go through the training and all that? Okay,
Need a motion?
need a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Nathan White as the harbor master for the town of Raymond.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor? Congratulations, Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan. All right.
As it's snowing, you can take a boat out on the lake.
Probably drowned or could go wrong.
Alright. What we got next?
New road name.
New road name. Bruce?
Hi,
You're the
how you
road
doing?
name person.
Yes. Yeah, so it's pretty simple and straightforward, and is that Mila's Way? I'm dealing with so
Yes.
many right now. Yeah, Mila's Way. And it doesn't conflict with anything in town, nor does it conflict with anything within our regional communications centers database. So, It's a-
This is a new road, right?
yes, new road, servicing 2 homes right now. One was already built and one's going to be built, so,
Have a
yes.
motion?
Move to approve road name?
Mila's Way.
Mila's Way.
Mila's Way.
Yep.
Do I have a
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Unanimous?
Nice.
Actually, is it Mila's Woods?
Mila's.
Mila's
Oh, Milled's Woods, yes. And it's probably Mila's would be my guess.
Mila's, and is
Oh,
it Woods Way or just Woods?
Just Woods.
MILA''S.
The other one I'm dealing with is away.
Yeah, Miles.
Was that the whole agenda
Milas?
right there, except for executive session?
No.
No, the annual town meeting, whether you want to vote via secret ballot or open.
Oh, okay, yep.
I don't know if we have to sign it, but it says selectmen approval down there, so I will just sign it.
Yeah, I've got to redo that form.
All right. So, what's your recommendation, Sue?
Well, I've always prefer open for the obvious reasons people can talk about it, but I do agree with the logic that there will be a lot more people, in particular during a presidential year and a primary, that will see the ballot. And I hope and pray that they actually read it before they vote it, but that we get a lot of questions on election day. That day, what is this? I didn't know it was happening, etc. So that's why I kind of doubt that a bit, but there are a lot more people that see it. We were down to the last open town meeting. We had roughly 70 people there, and I think it was
When was the
almost.
last one?
The last one was before
years ago?
COVID, 3 years ago.
4 years ago.
3
Yeah,
years.
4 now?
2020.
Yeah, 4 years ago now. And we only had 70 people come out, and at least 20 of those were either committee members or staff.
What's the pleasure of the select board?
As much as I like the open town meeting, I also like getting a better cross-section of votes in there. Which
We
I
get a
think
lot better.
Which I think we get with that. And you're already bringing them out to vote on the school budget, because that has to be a
Right.
referendum anyway. So.
We can have the meeting again beforehand if anybody has any questions or whatever, but we get a lot more of a response.
Yeah, I mean, people can come here and ask questions.
And they
Right,
don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right, right, no.
All right, can I have a motion?
I'll move to have the town meeting done by
Secret
written
ballot.
ballot.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Dennis?
Oh,
Isn't
Dennis,
there public comments before the vote?
Yep.
you can comment, if you want to comment on this,
Yes.
just step up to the mic.
Okay, there is usually public comment before the vote, though, right?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, well,
Unless somebody raises their hand and wants to speak on it.
okay. Well, I want to speak on it, and obviously Dennis Morse, 340 Cape Road. I really like the town meeting, for a lot of reasons. I was in a position where I had a couple of selectmen say they weren't going to support the public safety building and did everything they could. And it took a town meeting to get it done. So I did some research on Title 30A, which is, as you know, the town manager form of government with a town meeting. And basically it says, under the jurisdiction of this, each town meeting must be called by warrant. And it goes down, that's 2521. Then it goes down to 4. And it says, for those people who realize that sometimes we don't follow the rules, it says petition by vote is if the selectmen refuse. If the select board unreasonably refuses to call a town meeting, A notary public may call the meeting on written petition of a number of voters equal to 10% of the number of votes cast in the town at the last gubernatorial election, but in no case less than 10. So basically what the law says is we're entitled to a town meeting, and if you want to change it to this sort of meeting where it's by vote and not a meeting, we have to go to a town meeting to vote to have it by ballot. I'm sure you must have looked at this when you changed the ordinance after Governor Mills took away the emergency measures she took, so that we didn't have to have a town meeting. We could do all kinds of things remotely. That went out of effect, let's see, June 30th, 2021. And then you guys passed a policy that allows for remote things in August of 2021. So surely that must have brought that thing up where you like the remote thing. However, if you like the town people, who is the type of government we have, town meeting type of podium, and there's other things in here. For example, I think that's enough, actually. So I don't know what we had, 1,500 maybe at the most that voted. Takes 150 votes, signatures. I think you're going to find people like an opportunity to question the select board, especially this year with all the things that's happened. You know, all the things that's happened.
The last gubernatorial election, I would guess there were over 3,000 votes.
Okay,
There-
300
Tw-
300 people?
There were 2,690.
Okay.
If I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Sue, this is a town meeting.
It is.
It's still considered a town meeting.
That's correct. There is still a warrant posted,
Right.
and it goes through all the steps. It just isn't voted at an open forum. It is voted on a ballot.
I like to comment, though, on what you had said that says that we were being unreasonable. I don't think we've been unreasonable. I think what we're trying to do is get more people's votes, Dennis, is what it is. No, hold on.
Yep.
And literally, I mean, the people that come to our meetings, maybe 30, 35, 40 people. So, and then we get so much more input from people when they come out and ballot, and that's the only reason. But we're not being unreasonable by no means.
Then they'll vote it in, won't they? If we have a town meeting, everything you say is true, they'll show up and vote in a ballot election, won't they? Ballot type of warrant.
Well, history shows you're wrong on that, because only about 70 people at most come out
Or
to the town
30.
meeting. Where you get, probably in the last warrant, we probably had 1,800 votes.
Give or take, yes.
I'm requesting it under state law, and I believe it'll be covered, and also in the budget committee, it says it will have a chance to speak at a public meeting. Present what our beliefs are under the ordinance that was amended June 5th, 2018. So I think there's enough things in here that if you guys are right, they'll vote it. If they all want to vote and they think it's the best way to go, we have some bright people in this town. I've knocked on a lot of doors here in a few years back. I think I'm requesting a town meeting, and I think it's warranted.
We are having a town meeting.
You know what I'm talking about, where
You're
people can
talking,
get
you
up
want
and...
an open town meeting where we're doing a meeting by warrant. They're both considered a town meeting. So don't say we're doing bad stuff.
I'm just-
because you don't agree with us, but we think we get more participation in a warrant type meeting where more people vote on the issues.
And you're saying that in a public forum, questioning something that took place couldn't sway a group of people that won't be able to read exactly what goes into a letter or a warrant? Is that kind of what you're thinking, that we don't need that in this town?
We
We're not
have
saying
that. We
that.
have.
Okay,
we have
so I'm asking for that.
We have a public meeting prior to the vote. You have the budget meetings that are open to the public. So we have there's 4 or 5 opportunities for the public to get involved if they want to get involved. So I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. Well, you can lead them to the voting booth and they can vote, but you can't lead them to the town meeting if they don't want to go.
I think the other thing, though, Dennis, is this board has been accused several times of not getting the word out to people, not having enough meetings, or not getting enough feedback, or getting enough votes on certain things. And here with the town meeting, we have proved over the last couple of years that that's how we got more of those votes and got more people to come out because they can't. And a lot of people I know have family things too. They can't come out like on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night or whatever. So we're
5:30,
just trying to get as many votes from the town as we can get. And then we are willing to have any kind of meetings that need to be beforehand again. But again, every time we do, we just get a handful of people. So I guess I'm saying I would rather have 1,500, 500, 600 people on a ballot than 30, 35.
How much was last time? How many people voted last time?
Sue?
Sue?
For which election?
For the warrants, the budget last year.
Last year's special town, or not special, town meeting is June 23, municipal, 360. No, yes.
We never get
Votes cast,
360 people to the
360.
town meeting in public, in person, I mean.
But that's in with other things to vote on, right?
And it gets people out.
No, last June, there was no state question. It was a municipal election.
There wasn't any elections officer open vacancies in office positions?
It was only a municipal election.
Right, so anyone that had a vacant position, select board.
Select board, those are part of the warrant.
Okay. I'm just saying, you bring out more votes
Huh?
for
That
all
was
those
you
things.
last year, June.
And I think you're hurting the town by not doing it, and I really believe it would be no problem to get 200 people to sign a thing, or 300 that voted. I bet I could get 300 people that would vote to go back to town meeting if that's all they voted on that last warrant. Would you give me that before you make your mind up? I mean, if it's about numbers,
Well, we just voted.
no, I don't think you voted yet.
Did we vote yet?
No, he saw his hand
Oh,
up,
that's
so I
right.
stopped it. So
Yep.
he,
Yep. No, we're voting tonight, Dennis.
At 5:30, so more people could be here.
Dennis, you can
Oh.
accuse us of all this stuff you want.
No, I'm just
in
saying
your
that-
underhanded way, which you're well known to do.
Don't give it to him.
It's not, it wasn't. It's 5:30.
was.
It's people just get home from work. If you want people to show up, 6:30 was what we used to do, right? I'm just
We're not gonna
saying,
please
for more
everybody.
people.
For the last 2 years, we've been running at 5:30, Dennis.
It shows.
People
So-
don't come out even when we were at 6:30, Dennis, so,
Don't give it to him.
I just asked you to consider it for the reason I said.
okay, we'll consider it. So, we have a motion.
On the table.
Hmm?
We have a motion on the table.
Is the
Yep.
motion?
Any further discussion? Any more comments? All those in favor? Sam, unanimous? Public comment? Selectman comment?
Good luck tonight, yeah.
I just want to say that, I mean, in that last storm, there was a lot of work done both by Public Works and Public Safety on getting things cleared up and making sure that things are running, and hopefully it won't be as bad this time, but, I mean, there was a lot of work done there, and is greatly appreciated by everyone.
And the roads are good compared to Casco's and everything else because of the sand, so thank you guys for it, and be careful through this next storm.
Okay. Town manager's report?
She's still
Sorry.
typing.
All I've really got are the upcoming regular meetings, February 13th, which at least isn't Valentine's Day this year, and March 12th.
Okay. And we'll look into that April 9th meeting?
Yes, and I'll look at moving the April 9th. Oh, and I would like to say that I did have a very nice meeting with the town managers of Naples and Casco today. I look forward to working with them more in the future. I think we can probably get together on several different projects.
Oh, great, good.
Okay.
All right, a motion to go into executive session, discussion of personnel matters pursuant to MRSA 1, Section 405, 6A.
Second?
Moved and seconded, all in favor? All right. Can I have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved?
Second.
All in favor? Can I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to offer the town manager position to Sue Look pending, a contract that we will be working on.
Do I have a second?
Se-
And moved
Sam.
and seconded.
Do you mind if I put my name in as Susan?
You,
Whatever you go by.
exactly. Susan, look. Yeah, I've never, yeah.
Well, from my perspective, Sue, you have done a spectacular job in the last 6 months, 6.5 months.
Now I
Um,
will cry.
You've earned this.
You have.
Um,
Well deserved.
well deserved. You
Aw.
really have stepped up, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I ditto what Joe said. You have really pulled this town through, which is awesome.
Yes, we're the lucky ones, Sue.
It has been very interesting. I've learned about dumpsters and drunk people at beaches and all kinds of interesting things. Sprinkler systems in duplexes.
You're gonna learn a lot more.
Yes, and
But
that's the
that's
fun
good.
part of this.
Right.
That's why I liked being a clerk. I get to keep learning, and I'll try and do you proud.
Well, thank you for accepting the position. We appreciate
We
that.
haven't voted yet.
Yes.
Well, all those in favor? Sam? All right, unanimous.
Yay, Sue.
Thank you, Sue, for stepping up.
Motion
right.
to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
All in favor? Unanimous? We're adjourned.